Hi, welcome to Sue's Restorative Yoga class. This will all be done on the mat. I have regular, just walking clothes on. I don't have yoga clothes on. And that's fine, you can just sit here very comfortably like that. I'd like you to grab a strap and a block. And this will be 30 minutes, and if you could subscribe, that'd be wonderful, and I would totally appreciate it. Let me turn this mat this way so you can see better. There we go. So when I say restorative, it's basically definitely going to be stretching out our limbs, our lower limbs mostly. And we're gonna go ahead and start right away. So, take your right leg, your right foot, bring it right up into your right thigh. You can grab your strap or just go ahead and use your hands, whichever one is easier, and lean forward. Now, we're gonna do this one also at the end of class, see if we've gotten just a little bit more flexible. This one's really hard for me. Actually, I'm going to grab the strap and see if I can help. So you want to put the strap around your left foot. You want to put your right foot in, so your knee is bent. Your right foot is by your right thigh. And then just come forward slightly. You should really feel the pull, or to really feel the stretch in your right outer hip. I just did a 4.5 mile walk in the woods, so my hips are tight. This is why I'd like to sit down today and just get a really good stretch in the lower extremities. So we're going to be doing a number of these stretches for our hips. Okay, let's switch that foot. Put the belt around your right foot. Put your left leg into your right inner thigh, and then bend over. Okay, let's take the other foot. We'll go back and forth. Go back to your left foot a few times here. So it really does take time to kind of get your hips loosened up. So we're going to bend into the, I cannot even, this is as far as I can bend over. If you can get down to your knee, I mean, if you can get even close to your head to your knee, that is the goal. I can't, this is as far as I can get. But I'm hoping it by the end of the class, it's a little bit further. We'll see. Oh, goodness. Okay, now I want you to just put both legs out in front of you, and we're just gonna do a forward fold. So just basically bend over, grab your toes. You can always use your belt for all of these if you want. The belt under both feet. And then just fold. So first I want to fold forward with our legs together, and then we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. Much different muscle group. I can feel this a lot on the outside of my shins. Wide-legged forward fold. Put your hands right between the middle and then bend over. We'll come back to the legs being straight in front of us after this. We'll do these, I'm going to do this 3 times, this little set. Okay. Okay, keep your legs together, forward fold. And grab your toes. If you want to forward fold a little further, you can definitely have a micro bend in your knee. Wide-legged forward fold. Legs straight together, forward fold. I'm going to take the strap. Wide-legged. Okay, come on back. I'm going to put your left leg out straight. Tuck in your, this is the first one that we did. We're going to come back to it a few times. Check our progress. Put our right leg into, our right foot into our left thigh and just bend forward. Okay, I feel like it's a little less stiff. Let's hold this one. Okay. Put my right leg out, put the left foot into the right thigh. Left leg out, right foot into the left thigh. Hold it. Okay. I'm going to switch. Hold this. This may seem repetitive, but it's actually what you need to get your legs loosened up. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to do the black block under our back. So I have a block on all three levels. We're going to use the lowest level first. Just goes right under your sacrum. And I want you to come on back. Just like this. We're going to put our legs down. So I want you to put your legs all the way out in front of you. The block is right under you. It's a great stretch for your back. Bring it up to the mid-level. I have my knees bent at the mid-level. This should feel really good under your sacrum. You can also put your legs out. I'm going to keep my legs bent today. Just feels better. Okay, I'm going to raise this block a little. And so that's the highest level. Oh, it's slipping though. Okay. Oh, okay, I'm gonna come down. It's hard for me to keep it here with my pants. My pants are pushing it up. Okay, so just lay out straight. Now grab your belt. We're gonna do more leg stretches. We're gonna really be stretching our lower extremities here. So I want you to take your left leg up into the air with the belt. Try to keep your legs straight. Bring your leg over to the right. Bring it straight up. Bring it out to the left. Straight out to the left. And hold it. And then straight up into the air. I'm going to cut down just a little so you can see what I'm doing. Straight up into the air. Keep it there. Hold it there. Try to keep your knees straight for this one. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you have a micro bend. And this is something you can just do in your plain clothes. If you have a room you want to just dash off to, even if you're at the office or something, it's a great way to get a good stretch in your legs. And your back. Okay, now we're going to go take your leg out to the left to get a stretch on your left inner thigh. You should feel a nice, strong stretch in your left inner thigh. Okay, come on up. Bring it out to the right. Okay, let's change feet. So I grabbed my right leg. Drop it out to the right. Come on back up. Come on over to the left. Oh, now you should feel a really good stretch. I can in my outer right thigh. Oh, the whole leg actually. Very tight. Hard for me to even stay in this position. Okay, come on back up. Just keep the leg straight. I want you to stay here for a moment. You want your muscles to remember this stretched out feeling. It's like memory. And then they'll be able to, next time you come back into this position, it gets easier and easier. And it also lengthens your muscles. So it makes everything easier. You're walking, especially like going up steps or stepping over things you don't want to trip. And sometimes that can happen as the muscles tighten up. Okay, out to the right. The more flexible you can stay in the lower extremities, the longer you're going to be able to continue activities at a high level. Climbing, golfing, swimming, pickleball. Super helpful for pickleball to be flexible. kind of taken the country by storm. And I read recently that tennis, pickleball, racquetball, those are the top sports for people to stay in shape, but also because it keeps you connected to other people. Like you can develop friendships through pickleball or the other sports. More so than like swimming. You know, swimming is great for you, but it's very isolated. It seems like a lot of people are really dying for some friendships and connectivity. I was with our communities where, let's do the left foot again. We're much more connected, where everybody would just have some meaningful conversation in a variety of places, all different ages too, not necessarily all 55 and over or all just college kids. I learned so much by talking to younger people. Okay, going out to the left. Okay, now we're gonna go switch to the right leg. Bring it up first, and then we go to the right and the left. So if you could keep your legs straight. Bring it out to the right. I think sometimes it's so nice to come do some yoga, some stretching while you're just in the middle of your office day or whatever, with whatever outfit you have on. And you don't have to get all hot and sweaty and to get a good stretch in, or do restorative yoga. It actually is so helpful to just do this. This one is super hard for me. I think it's because my right side is just so tight. Okay. If you put both legs up, just get a good stretch of both legs at the same time. Drop both legs to the right. Put your left arm out and look to the left. Okay, let's go over to the other side. Okay, let's come on back up. Hug your knees in close. not always going to do things in the typical order here. I want you to grab your toes and do happy baby. Usually we do that at the end of the class, but I'm going to do it right now because it feels like a natural position to go to. So grab your big toes. Bring your knees basically are going to be parallel down to the floor. So get your legs open nice and wide and bring your knees down to the floor. And then come on up. I want to do we're just going to stay in the seated position. We're not going to be standing up on this yoga session. I want to do a seated spinal twist. So take your left leg, put straight out. Take your right leg over your left. And then I want us to turn to the right. Everything we do today is going to be right down here on the mat. Stretching, restorative on the mat. I often find like if I've done like cross-country skiing or something for the day, and I want to do a yoga class, I don't want to be up and down doing down dog and plank, etc. I just want to stretch. And this is the theme here today too. So put your right leg straight out, your left leg bent over your right leg, grab your outside of your right knee, and with your elbow, I pull it towards me, and then the further around you can turn towards the back. This is a spinal twist. It also opens up your left hip at the same time. There's two poses that I want to do and we're going to do that one more time, for stretching today. Besides this, I do want to do the Garland Pose, which is the squat, because it's really good for your thighs, and also the screaming tiger toes, which is really that's easy too, but it really stretches out our toes. So, but right now we'll put our right leg back over our left leg, take a nice spinal twist here, get your left arm outside of your right leg, and then do a twist. Great for your spine, great for your outer hip. Great for flexibility doing sports. This class is all about getting flexible. Okay, we'll just keep it even and do the other side. One more time. And I want to come up to the Garland Pose. Or it's also called Baddha-Konasana. I tend not to use those yoga terms because people don't really know what they are. And I can explain them. Okay, so here, you're just going to do, your feet are going to be hip distance apart at a 45-degree angle, and then you want to come down, and I can turn to the other side so you can see me. So my feet are about as wide as the narrow part of the mat. You want to come down, put your elbows inside your knees, your hands are in the prayer position, and just want you, if you could get your feet flat on the floor, I can't, but some people can. It's really good. And if you need to get some balance by putting your hands on the mat, try to put them in the prayer position and hold this position. And the wider you could spread your legs, the better it is for your outer hips. I went to a museum the other day and was looking at pictures of cavemen. They sat even further down than this on a regular basis. It's kind of how they sit in a lot of the Asian nations when they eat and do things. So they're very flexible. rather than sitting in a chair, which tightens up your back. As you can see, I'm getting a big flexion in my back and also in my feet. Okay, come on down. We'll just go into tabletop just for a few moments, just to get the opposite stretch in here. We're gonna go back into that one. First, let's just do a couple of cat-cows. So you wanna drop your middle, raise your head, and then do the opposite. Drop your middle, raise your head. Okay, then I want you to come back into that position. So your feet are the narrow side of the mat. Your elbows are inside your knees, pushing them apart as far as you can get comfortable. And your hands are in the prayer position. And just sit here in this position to open up your thighs, your hips. And then after this one, we're going to go into the screaming tiger toes. Just stretch out the bottom of our feet. Okay, let's go into the screaming tiger toes. So basically you just want to tuck your toes, sit back, you spread your knees a little, sit back, and if you can get on your heels, you can sit like this, or just put your hands on your thighs, wherever's comfortable, and stay here. Let's hold this position. I'm going to hold it for as long as I can. If you can follow along with me, that would be great. If it's too much, you could just come out of the position. So this stretches out the bottom of your foot, and you may say, like, why would we do that? Why would we do anything that has screaming tiger toes? Because this is the plantar fascia under our feet that goes from our toe arch all the way up to our heel, and this stretches it out so you can prevent getting plantar fasciitis, which is super painful. And people that do a lot of stuff on their feet, whatever it is. Okay, let's come out of that. And just go, let your toes release, go into tabletop. People that do like walking, hiking, anything, but where they're using their legs, but they don't stretch. You can, it's common for a lot of people to start getting really tight under their feet. So this is a great stretcher. I just think it's super important. Okay, I'm going to do it again. So get on your toes. Sit on your knees. Tuck your toes under. And then just sit here. And just look forward, straight ahead at the wall. Gently, and release your toes gently, and just sit back gently. And then we're going to go into a seated, both knees are going to be bent, and we're going to do another stretch that way. So we're going to stay down on the mat seated. Okay, so come on around. I want you to bend your left leg, bend your right leg over it. So this is different than the last one, because the last one we had our left leg out straight in front of us. So it's a very different stretch. So I want you to turn your body to the right, grab your knee. Now both legs here are bent. And I want you to turn. The other thing I'd like you to do is if you could grab your strap, bend your right knee over the left, okay? I want you to grab your strap here and then turn so that you're pulling your right arm back by holding the strap in your left hand. You should feel a good pull there in your shoulder. Good to stretch out our shoulders too. Okay, come on back. I'm going to bend our right leg. Bend your left knee over your right leg. And let's just sit here for a moment. This is very, very tight for me. So I need to sit here in this pose just for a moment, just to get it to release. Okay? Okay, now I want to take my right hand as best I can, and I don't think I can raise the strap on this turn. If you can, you should. And as I sit here for another little bit, I can turn a little more. I can't raise the strap. Okay. Ooh. Ow. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the first pose, which is what we wanted to check in with ourselves and see if we got a little bit looser. So let's back to this one where this will be our last pose. You take your right foot into your left thigh and see if you could grab your strap. See if you can just get over a little bit more, a little further, a little more comfortably, without your hips totally screaming at you. Mine kind of is. Okay. I want to go back to that other leg one more time, so I need to tuck my right leg in. I feel like it's a little looser. I do. Okay, now I wanted to thank you a lot for coming to the class. I hope you've gotten your legs stretched. Mine feel a little bit more stretched, I can tell. Like, 'cause sometimes it's even hard for me to get into this Indian position. And I just got into it kind of quickly. And it's not hurting too bad at all. So again, thank you for coming. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. I'd totally appreciate it. And I'll do more of the restorative classes because I find that's what I want. I like to do exercise outside, generally being active, doing something outside almost every day. And so then I really need yoga to stretch me out and get me back to a restorative place. So thank you again for coming, and I hope it's helped you. Appreciate it.